Let's check the audio. Here we go. Today, we got a sub-2 deal that got posted, 2.99% interest rate. That's a great interest rate. Killeen, Texas. Let's see, 4909 Sunrise Street, 1608 square feet, 2022 build. So I'm going to assume that there's really not much issues there. Turnkey and vacant. The balance on the loan is $197,286. 197,286. 2.99% interest rate. 30,000 in arrears. Total cash flows is 41,000. So $30,000 in arrears, probably $11,000, so that it comes up to a total of 41,000. Write that one in. The total PITI is 1427.81. So as always, when we go to the property tax number, we'll go to 1427.81. We want to subtract the principal, subtract the interest portion of the subject to loan, and then that will get us to the total amount for taxes and insurance. This is obviously in 5/1/2022. I'm just going to make up a date there. All right, so let's see what's going on with this property. Let's see if we can pull this up on Redfin. All right, so listed for purchase price for $205. Let's see. It does look pretty much turnkey. I would probably paint that wall. So some blemishes there. So I'll probably put at least money to paint the place. Yeah, there's just all these different colors, and that's probably the only renovation I'll do on this property. So when I go to my rehab calculator spreadsheet, I'm just going to put in the square footage for the paint, which is 1,600 square feet at $3 a square foot. But I'm going to assume I'm leaving aside $500 for the landscaping, but I'm assuming the roof is in pretty good shape because it was only built 2 years ago. All right. So that leaves me about $6,000 in rehab roughly to paint the entire place and have some contingencies in place. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to get my fair market rents, my FMR. So the first thing I want to do is get the county, and this is in Bell County. So when I go Google HUD FMR, I can click on the first link, scroll down to the area where it says access to small area FMRs, click on FY 2024 small area FMRs, go to the state, which is in Texas. Whoops. And this was in Lee County, right? Bell County, I'm sorry. Bell County. And the zip code for this property is 76542, 76542. And you're going to see that for a 4-bedroom, the rent ceiling is $2,040. Let's write that one down, $2,040. Don't care about a 3-bedroom because it's already a 4-bedroom, 76542. I'm going to write this one down. 76542, and this is for a 4-bed. Delete that. The next thing I want to do is I want to get the market rents. So when I go to affordablehousing.com, I go to the owner section, into the market rent estimator, plug in the address, plug in bedroom count, and you're going to see here the most important number here is that the average rent for 25 units within a 0.55 mile radius, the rent is $1,602. 1602 1866. I'm going to write down all these other numbers just because my partners already know exactly where I get my data points from. So that's pretty easy for me to kind of write it down. Now that I got all the numbers in here, right? Let's go through this one more time. I got my purchase price. I got my renovations. I got my rent, which I have to take the lower of the two. And why is that, right? If you just went ahead and analyzed this property for $2,040, you would probably be grossly overestimating the rents you would get from this place by $400. That's the difference between cash flow and not cash flow sometimes. But you have to take the lower of the two because of the rent reasonableness test. Now, this is a housing choice voucher guidebook. Now, in section 2.2, you're going to see that it talks about the rent reasonableness test. The rent reasonableness test states that the PHA, or the Public Housing Authority, must determine whether the rent to the owner is a reasonable rent in comparison to rent for other comparable unassisted units, which means you can't charge more rent to a voucher holder simply because they are a voucher holder for the obvious reasons. Now, obviously, it's still going to be dependent on comps, such as you got to make sure you're comping single family homes to single family homes compared to condos to condos. But usually you don't see that many 4-bedroom condos, right? So that's why I'm pretty confident in this number, 1,600. So when you had to take the lower of the two, you have to use the $1,600 for rent. Now, we went through the principal and the interest. We got the taxes number because we took the property tax at the PITI, the total disclosed number, and we subtracted the principal and the interest portion of the property. Then you are able to put in the monthly insurance number. I put on the chat. I always forget to do that. So I don't know what people are talking about. So I apologize for that. And then now that you have these numbers, I'm probably going to add an extra $30 for insurance just because insurance is going up every single year. And usually that insurance number is for a primary residence property. Usually someone's living at that property. So that's where you got to be a little bit more careful. We got 10% for maintenance. I got 10% for property management, 5% for vacancy because someone always moves out. And then for my other expenses, I got $30,000 for arrears, which was disclosed. And because the total entry fee was $41,000, I'm assuming that other $11,000 is based on commissions or the assignment fee to the wholesaler. Then you got the 2.5% closing costs and you got a renovation. So that results in a whopping, if you rent it out as a 4-bedroom for $1,600, you'll be losing $258 a month. And that results in a negative 5.9% cash and cash return. And this was for a purchase price of $205,000 with a rehab of $6,360. And I'm assuming there's no down payment, to be honest with you. So now that you write down all of these scenarios, because this is a creative deal, I'm not going to go ahead and mess around with anything else because it's probably locked in that deal already because it's already a creative finance deal. Okay. So now that you understand how we put in all these numbers, you probably could have ruled out this deal a little bit earlier. And let me tell you why. When I saw that the total PATI was $1,427 plus a $220 solar payment. Oh, I forgot to put in the solar payment. Minus $220. That's going to make this even a worse deal. Minus $477. So this is even a worse deal. So this is how you recognize whether or not it was a deal. When you see that the total PITI was $1,427, and then you saw that there's another $220, so that makes it roughly around $1,640, $1,650. And you saw that the market rent was $1,600, that's already below. That's already below your number. And that's how you figure out quickly how to rule out deals quickly. So you don't spend any more time on these deals because that's just how you drain your time. And that's how you preserve your energy. So when you are able to come up with the criteria that allows you to quickly understand whether or not this deal is worth your time, that's how you avoid burnout, right? How do we burn out? We burn out when we do a lot of work for no return on that time. So the quicker you realize it, the quicker you rule out deals, the better you're off. And then on top of that, you don't spend your time or your goodwill on contractors or realtors or people that are going to walk the deal for you because it's a property that you weren't going to buy anyways. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You keep calling people out there to look at properties for you that you know you're not going to buy. Eventually, people are going to stop going for you because it's probably not worth their time and they're not going to get any business from it. So here's my hope. My hope is that you sincerely copy my homework today. Analyze the same deal on Analyze using the same spreadsheet. Just DM me your email, Instagram. You want a copy of the spreadsheet, or you can go to affordablehousing.io, not .com, affordablehousing.io. Plug in your email address on the Get Deal Analysis tool tab, and I've already automated the system to send out the spreadsheet for you. I don't take credit for the spreadsheet. I've gotten spreadsheets from other people. I kind of just updated it, tweaked it, leveraged it, and made it my own so that I can analyze deals a lot faster. And my hope is that you guys can just copy what I did today and put it on your own YouTube channel. Because guess what? When the time comes for you to pull the trigger on a deal, are you going to recognize a deal if a deal came across your table and slapped you across the face? I certainly hope so. And if a partner ever asks you, hey, why do you think this is a deal? Well, I hope at that point in time, you can look back at your track record and say, hey, I know this is a deal because I looked at the past 244 deals and they're all not deals. Might that give you more confidence that you know what you're doing? Might that give your partners more confidence that you know what you're doing? Now, obviously, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments. I'm just showing you guys all the work that I'm doing every single day. And all it takes is just 18 minutes a day of you doing this, staying consistent day in, day out, doing the boring work. Analyzing the deal is not the sexiest work in the world, but it's so crucial to your investment career and your journey. It's a skill you absolutely need to have. So 18 minutes a day. And that will allow you to be better at underwriting deals in 95% of America. So you can do it. You can do it. All right. I hope everybody have an amazing Friday. I hope you guys spend some quality time with your family and friends today, because that's what life is all about. All right. Have an amazing day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow for day 245.